Hi, my name is Guidry, and today we're going to be talking about how to get amazing reviews for your photography business. If you're interested in learning more about posing, be sure to download the free guide in the description below. Taking good photos is a huge part of your photography business, and some people would argue the only part. But I would not. I would say that having beautiful images is very important, yes, but also we're service providers and we impact the client experience. So when that client is looking back at their photos, even if they're beautiful, they're always going to remember the experience that they had while taking them. So how do you get amazing client reviews? Well, the obvious, number one, would be take good photos, okay? So we're here because we're photographers and we want to take good images. There are so many great resources out there, including the one that I just gave you before about the free posing guide to help you take better images. As you're doing the photos for your clients, I want you to really focus and honing in on your skill and your craft and being a good photographer, most importantly. Yes, a lot of the topics that we're going to be talking about in this particular lesson is about creating a good experience for your clients. But most importantly, I wanted to get that out there that taking good photos is huge. Let's just assume number one is in place and we have amazing photos. What is the next thing that we want to focus on as our number two to make sure that we're getting those awesome and raving reviews from our clients? It's going to be communication. When I think about myself as a consumer and working with a small business, the thing that is so important to me outside of the actual work or products that I'm purchasing is going to be the correspondence. How quickly are they getting back to me? How responsive are they being? How thorough are they being? Is the language there? All of these things are really important. When I receive an inquiry for a new client, I'm trying to get back to them within 24 to 48 hours if it's a wedding weekend, no later than the close of business on Monday. If you have a client that's emailing you, make sure that you're getting back to them as soon as you can. I do get it. We're in a digital era. We have Instagram, we have text messages, emails, phone calls, so many ways of clients to correspond with us, but you want to get back to them quickly. If you're having an issue, just as a side note, with clients texting you and you feel like that those text messages are getting lost in the shuffle, no worries. One thing that I do is I take a screenshot of my phone when I get a text message. I send it to my inbox and I just let the client know, hey, this is the best way for me to keep organized. If you want to send me a text message, no problem. I'm just going to respond to you from my inbox. And so far, I've never had an issue. They can continue to text and I can continue to email. And that way, at least I have a history of things that are coming through in my inbox. However you're corresponding with your client, and no matter what type of means that you're using in order to correspond with them, you want to be quick, thorough, and answer their questions. If you have a client whose session is that week or their wedding is that week, it's extra important that you get back to them as soon as you can. I have a friend who says that correspondence is just not her thing, and so she's hired someone. If you feel like this isn't your strength, because this is so imperative to having those rave reviews, hire someone to help you. There are people out there that don't even have to be in your city, a VA, a virtual assistant who can come onto your team and help answer questions for your clients and be in your inbox on your behalf. All right, next, we want to make sure that we're setting clear expectations for everything that the client can expect throughout the process of working with you. It doesn't have to happen all at once. They don't have to know everything that's going to happen throughout the entire year of you being their wedding photographer, for example, the day that you start working together. However, as you go through those steps, make sure that they understand what's going on. So if it's leading up to their wedding and we're 3 months out and they say, Kat, should we start putting together our photo list right now? I just let them know, no, it's okay. You don't need to have that yet. You can start making notes in your phone. If you have some screen grabs that you want to store in a safe place, no problem. But we're going to have your final meeting about 1 to 2 weeks before the wedding. I'm setting up that expectation for them so that they know what to do. A lot of times they've no idea. They've maybe never had a friend plan a wedding or a family member, and they're the first one. And so we have to help them know what's going on, and also as the business owner, let them know what works well for you. So for example, I like to have the final meeting the week or two before the wedding, but maybe you as a photographer like to have it 4 to 6 weeks before. Everyone's a little different, and I think it's good to communicate what they can expect. One of the most often asked questions that I get is, when can we expect our images? Of course, everyone's always chomping at the bit to get their photos. And so what I do is after the session or wedding, as I'm walking out the door, I let them know, hey, look, you can expect your images from the session today in about 3 weeks. Always under promise and over deliver, by the way. So if you plan to turn it around in 2, tell them 3. But I do let them know as I'm leaving. If it's a wedding and things are a little crazy when I'm leaving, I always send a follow-up email. So by the Monday that they go into their inbox following the weekend's wedding, they see, hey, it was such a great pleasure being there, and you can expect your images on X date or in X number of weeks. So that way they know what to expect and they're never questioning when they're going to get their photos. Always, always, always set those clear expectations along the way so they know what's next, what's happening, and they feel like they're being taken care of. Another way that you can connect with your clients and help to get that amazing experience going is to get to know who they are as people. For all of my clients who hire me as their wedding photographer, I try to seek them out on social. Some people are a little more private than others, and if they don't accept my friend request, that's totally fine, but I don't know that I've ever had anyone not accept. In the end, we end up becoming friends anyway. So I try to connect with my clients on social. I use Facebook a lot. I know for some of you younger generation people, you're like, Facebook, who uses that anymore? But I still use Facebook, and I love to keep up with my clients in that platform. So I friend request my clients on Facebook, and I like that it gives me the ability to get to know them a little more as people, which leads to my next point, which is that I like to share things about my life too, so that my clients and I can connect. I am not a volume-based photographer. I'm a boutique business who specializes in luxury weddings, and I like to get to know who I'm photographing. I want to know them as people, and I want them to know us as people. I want them to know that my husband shoots with me and he's also an architect. That's something really unique about our dynamic, and it's a great talking point. I think the more things that you can share in and talk about when you're working together, it just helps ease the tension, and it makes it feel like a hangout and not focused on the photography. A lot of people get very nervous taking photos, and so the more comfortable you can make them, the more laid back it can feel, the better results you're going to get. On the wedding day, it's not so much about you as the photographer, right? We're photographing their event, we're focusing on them. However, if there's that level of comfortability, they feel like they can be themselves around you, and you can produce genuine, natural images of them on their wedding day. So let's talk about the last point, which is going to be what happens when something doesn't go right. And listen, I've been doing business for over 13 years, so I'd be remiss to tell you that everything's always gone smoothly. Of course, there's going to be times when things don't go 100% right. What do you do in those situations? Well, if it's a big enough issue and you feel like the client has some anxiety or some concerns, I personally pick up the phone right away. I want to hop on the phone with the client so they can hear my voice. They know me already, right? We're friends. We've gotten to know each other throughout the process. And even if you're not friends, you're friendly. You want the client to know that you're a human and connect with them on that human level. Getting on the phone, it allows you to have a more open dynamic versus just writing an email. I love using the phone. Even throughout the course of the beginning of the pandemic, where we were having so many conversations about contracts and reschedules, I love that I was able to connect over the phone and get to know my clients even better in that process and work through these uncomfortable situations together. We were all in the same boat, right? And we're all just trying to figure it out. Connecting over the phone is huge. I actually lead a podcast called Mistakes Make Magic, and I have a whole episode on there about what to do when you make a mistake. So that may be something to tune into if you're interested. But I think most importantly, yes, we want to create amazing, beautiful, timeless, heartfelt, emotional, genuine images for our clients. But we also need to make sure that we're being wonderful service providers and creating lovely experiences for them to enjoy. When that happens, they're able to reflect on those moments and remember good times, good feelings, and good memories as they relive those moments over and over again. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you found this content and information good, please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy watching our videos. If there's anything specific that you'd like to hear about, whether it's gear or working behind the scenes in the business, be sure to let me know either in the comments, or you can subscribe and email me at our email list. Thank you so much for watching, and happy shooting.